Welcome back to Misplay Mayhem. We got a new Monarch deck profile. All right, Jimmy. What do we got here?
All right, so we've been looking through this deck for a couple days now.
Days or months?
Well,
Years.
It's been a while.
It's been forever.
It's been days since the set released to allow you to add some new cards to this. Our boy Mario over here want everything in the most high rarity possible, so you're seeing this blingish before you even start.
Hell yeah.
So this is gonna be the rendition after we took a look, and
Basically, we're retuning it every other day.
pretty much every time I see it, I'm taking a look at this thing. But for right now, this is what we got. So the first thing we're gonna do is play 3
Aether.
of Ethers. She's pretty much self-explanatory. She pops out another Monarch, pretty much allowing you with the newest Monarch they have to essentially search cards to add, to shore up your back rows and things like that when you need it,
And the one effect I don't do, you can actually tribute summon on your opponent's turn if she's in your hand.
which makes it even better.
Yep.
Because you can actually chump block with her effect to bring out your vanities to make sure that they don't have monster effects during their turn. But you play 3 of her, and of course you're going to play 2
Erebus.
of Herbalists right there.
I love
Yes.
the grave effect is pretty good.
Yeah, everything else is kind of it could take a card out of your hand. Cool.
Yeah.
Wish you could actually look at the card you're going to take, but it'd be too broken. But 2 allows you to kind of get the graveyard effect going and just still have another big body. Now playing 3
The new Etios.
just because of that searchability, because he doesn't care if he's normal summoned or special summoned. So using him with Big Girl allows you to kind of extend your plays, and having him start in your hand makes things a little easier too if you get some of the little guys. It just gives you that one sack that kind of gets your motor going, get into your draw cards or a back row or even your field spell. And then the spice that Mario insists upon
Is
1 and
1
1. The brothers Fiend, Vanities, and Majesties. Of course, Majesties is you can bring him out with Eidos, or not Eidos, but Ether, and pretty much just chump block your monster effects from your opponent.
And my graph will forever be that why is Vanities at 12 defense.
So you can't just block out your opponent completely like that. Especially this now, they know what they're doing. But 1 and 1 might bump these to 2, maybe in side deck, just because their effects are great. And if we're doing that, we're going to play more of the back row trap cards for them to make sure they stay on the field. But right now, just 1 and 1. And then the supporters themselves, the newest MVP, Tessera. I mean, just reveal a Monarch spell or trap, special the sucker, and allow yourself to tribute immediately. Pretty good. Also, the graveyard effect, allowing you to then extend with another, Edia, which then gets you into the 3 Eidos. I'm not sure if they're all online, but it's pretty much
Yeah, you
after
got
one tribute, lines up to another one, which then specials out another one, gives you another summon. It's a train. It's a train in a good way. So you gotta play 3 of them because you need the bodies in this board.
Damn it,
Now we're
Jimmy.
seeing a lot right now. You need bodies.
Damn it,
But-
Jimmy! Did you really say it in a good way?
Hey, no D. But right now, we're gonna go into the spells and traps. Of course, shine. So I don't know if you can actually read what's in here because all that shininess right now is even blinding me. And you got Pantheism, MVP of this deck. Pretty much allows you to tribute off any of your spells, traps that are Monarch cards. Allow you to draw 2. Even the graveyard effect, even though it's once per turn, allows you then to search for another card potentially. If you got 3 ofs, pretty much is a given. If not, it allows you to make your opponent help you without them knowing. You just give them 2 bad options and 1 little less option that's worse, and they'll give you the card every time. You're playing 3 of them. I'm only allowing him to play 2 domains because I really don't want him having this card in his hand at multiples. You want it on the field, you don't want 2 of these suckers in your hand. And
Because one on the field and one to like discard for anything,
if
right?
anything of that, or if it gets busted, you can get it get an extra one to put on the field. You pretty much need to make sure you shore up your field before you even worry about someone's extra deck. So just 2, because it helps with the tribute. If you only got 1 monster, the tribute off. And for the big guys, you can at least drop them down. So it's still good at 2. The side deck, the extra one's leaving there, but we'll get to that later. Then we got 2 of the new Monarch's Revolt.
It's basically like a pantheism for monsters.
Pretty much, but the downside that you have to discard a card. It's not even a pantheism; it's tenacity essentially, but you have to discard for it instead of just revealing, which really sucks. You know, it'll kind of get you into body because it really wants you to discard your newest little guy, the primal. So essentially, that great artifact pops off, and then you pop out the light, and then you get the dark, so you can get, one of the 2 sacks and then drop it. But because of that cost, it still hurts your hand economy. You do get that extra effect of special summoning out one of the little guys if you already have in your hand, if it's in the graveyard, but even that kind of doesn't make up for that discard. So just 2, because again, you can search them. And the one who's going to be searching that, of course, is your tenacity. Since you play so many of the big guys for sacks, right now it's about 9. 9 monsters out of 18. Not that bad. You're most likely going to see this guy come up with a monster to use it for. And this, of course, allows you to get your spell and trap, which then helps you along your plays. So you get 3 of them. Then, of course, 3 Stormforce. Because who doesn't like taking your opponent's monster and sacrificing it to make a bigger monster on your board? Foolish for primal allows you to just drop the primal to the graveyard, where then specials out the light and the dark. 1 for 1. Get you to one of the lights, or get you one to the 1 stars. Discard, you can discard the primal to special out the idiot, which then the primal then special out another one. So then you'll potentially have 4 cards on the field, which is 1 special. Reinforcement allows you to get to the primal or Idia. So kind of a given there too. Now, nice little spice, playing 2 spells card Soul Exchange. This guy does not give a crap about how many opponent's monsters they have. You can just activate it, take their 2 monsters, sacrifice for the bigger ones, or take 1. It doesn't matter. The only thing it does is that if you leave another monster on board and they play sacks as well, they can then sacrifice that other monster to then tribute something for them on their side of the field. But if you just leave 1 monster, no drawback. But it still was a good board breaker. And then a small Morganite package here. You got the red and the purple. Of course, this one allows you to get the extra normal summon, which does stack. I have actually tried this out in Master Duel, and you do get to stack these effects, so you can potentially sacrifice twice, which is to help with Morganite and other effects that allow you to sacrifice additional times. And of course, this one bumps up the attack damage, as well as allowing you to attack multiple times. And of course, besides the extra summon, you do get to draw 2, so they're pretty good together. And then we have, for now, 1 Prime Monarch, just because it's a nice discard for your Pantheism, as well as his graveyard effect to special summon himself from the graveyard by banishing another card. You need more control in this deck. You're comboing off. Just because you got big monsters when you end, you still need something to back them up. And the Erupt is where I've seen that's in engine a good enough target. It's a skill drain that benefits you. So at least 1 right now for that. And finally, we're also just playing more new stuff. You got the
Monarch.
Yeah. And playing mostly 1, because 1 is pretty much all you need with this thing. I mean, you'll get potentially 6 effects off of this 1 card, but you just gotta make sure your graveyard's stocked full of your spells and traps. So every time your opponent special summons something, each one of these can go off. And I definitely would recommend taking something out of their hand first, then following with the banishments and the destructions. So you keep whittling down their card economy. So right now, it's about 41 cards. Leaving to the extra deck, we're still kind of picking this one over, or side deck, because there's no extra deck in there. Thank you for the correction.
Damn it, Jimmy.
We're going to talk about this. It's a
beefy
little
boy.
bit of spice because, of course, the 3000. But the only reason why people aren't playing this Mora is because of the limitation that it needs to be tributed by tributing a tribute summon monster on your side of the field. The great thing about this is that you also tribute a monster on your opponent's side of the field. So you essentially can break any of their towers that they might be using on their side of the field. If it didn't have the tribute summon monster on yours, this thing would probably be a secret rare, guaranteed.
Instead of the super that it is.
Yeah, but you can still kind of finesse people with this card by using their other trap, which is in this side deck. So don't worry about it. You will be able to get to this. Kuraz. You are in here just by the grace of God. So for right now, that's all I'm going to say about you.
By the
You
grace
are-
of God.
By the grace of God, you still stand here.
Is it just because it's an ulti?
Pretty much, and it's your ulti. That's the only reason. This sucker be in the dirt right now. That's my choice.
That's crazy.
In my build, I'm playing 3 of these main deck, but as of right now, he only has 1, so we're keeping it in the side deck because it is a good tech, especially with the extra sack soul exchange. Pretty much getting rid of 2 of your opponent's monsters and bringing this guy out so they can't even chain anything pretty much seals the deal sometimes. So right now it's just 1. If we get some more, we're going to add more to the side deck and get rid of this Kuraz. Jinzo. I mean, take a monster. If you deal with anything to do with traps, not really bad idea to play multiples of this guy and Stormforth and the other things that allow you to distribute. But right now, I'm not sure if we're in a really trap-heavy format. So for now, he's also at 1. You can add more of him to your side deck or even main deck. It will just depend on how you want to build your Monarchs. The third Eros. Right now, again, 3s and 3s for him and his lady friend. But right now, we're just trying to see if only 2 will be good for him, because his effect is not as proactive as hers. He can take a card out of the hand randomly, but he doesn't put an extra bite on the board like she does. So we're just seeing right now just to see 2. Zaborg. Hate. He hates your extra deck. When I mean yours, I'm talking to the person watching this. The guy who's playing the extra deck against Monarchs. You tribute for this guy, then you tribute him off with his own effect to then look at your opponent's extra deck and choose 8 cards to get rid of. So if they're paying a full 15, you can wipe them down to 7. And pretty much you choose which one, so you could actually stymie off by getting rid of just 8 monsters, eradicating their whole pathway to getting to play anything in their extra deck. So again, depending upon what format you're playing against your locals, you might want to play 2 or 3 of these guys.
They have a card interface that says
Terraforming, again, because he's only playing 2 of the Monarch field spell. This is a nice shiny ulti here.
So I'm getting judged for being
and
higher.
the dedication for that, it's still in the side deck. We're still figuring that one out.
Judge me for the high rarity.
Speaking of which, we have the domain, the 3rd domain. That means there would have been 40 suckers floating in that deck. But right now, there's just 2, because just for the search ability. If it comes up that we need it more, this is why there's 2 extra in the side deck, so you can always adjust your variables on how much you need to lock out your opponent's extra deck. The 3rd Soul Exchange is, again, if you're dealing with people who cannot guard their monsters once they've established their board, you play plenty of 2 sacks to wipe them out and start your advantage. Return right now is a bit iffy just because there's a variable amount of different things that can go on with this card, and because it's a continuous. So you might not have it on board for long, but if you can keep getting it to activate turn after turn, you might see some good things with this. This is another one of those that might be taken out later on, but for right now, it's good in the side deck. Then you have March. March allows your guys to march along. Allows them not be targeted, so it's kind of a good protection. But right now, still side deck. That third revolt, again, it being, of course, a once per turn, as well as having to discard. Not sure exactly, especially because after you use this effect, you send the other two to the graveyard. So you'll have even less opportunity to have monsters to use this effect. So we're still trying to figure out the strengths of this card. So right now, the third one is in the extra, or in the side. And then finally, a card that might be bumped up to 2 and actually put in the main deck, because if you're going to be using monsters that you want to pop off, like, oh man, the Stalos over here, you can then wait for them to have a monster on board. You have your Monarch that you've already tribute summoned, activate this, tribute their monster off, because now using its effect, tributing your other monster, taking their prime target for anything that they're going to do for their advancement plays, and then banishing a card out of their hand. So it's a nice bit of disruption with these two things together. So if you want to bump up this more, I would bump this one up more as well. And that is it for your side deck as well as your main deck. There is no extra because, again, Monarchs ain't playing any extra deck. So that's it for now when it comes to this new iteration of Monarchs. We're still figuring things out.
It's forever going to be tweaked.
That is, it's like Disneyland. You're never fully done with this deck.
That's crazy.
But till next time.
Thank you, Jimmy.